What you got? What you got? Go down then. Good boy. Go on then. Hi, and welcome to another video. I'm going to try and do this video before my battery runs out because I haven't actually charged it. But this video is going to be what it takes to be a security dog handler. Now, someone asked me a question of, can you do this job if you have something like ADHD? And I would say that they can't discriminate against people to do it. I think it's up to you to decide whether you would be able to do the job, and at the end of the day, when you go in for your team test, etc., if you're not up to the standard, then they're not going to pass you. So it's more of a conversation that you'd have to have with your trainer, and it'll be more of a individual basis rather than saying that everyone with that condition, not just ADHD obviously, but anyone with a condition, with such a condition, can't do it, because obviously some people it affects them more than others. So I'm just going to take you through what NAS do say in their handbook, what you need to be a security dog handler. And my NASDO question for this video is, on site, where should there be clear signage regarding dogs being on site? So you're working at a site, where should there be signage? So the first three things they say you should have in this job is a good temperament. So obviously with good temperament is someone that doesn't go off the rails too much. And someone that obviously has a good temperament in order to deal with situations, deal with people, etc. They say that you should be alert, have good alertness. So obviously with this job you have to detect and be alert a lot of the time. Now remember that sometimes you'll be doing nothing for a long time, and then all of a sudden you'll need to be alert, need to act on stuff. And they also say that you should be fit. So with fit, they're not saying that you should be able to run marathons, but they're saying that you should be able to patrol areas. Yeah. So you should be able to patrol areas on a regular basis and obviously be able to get round. So someone that is not fit is probably not going to be ideal for this job, because it does involve a lot of walking. Obviously in certain areas you may need to run, not often, but obviously you need to be fit in order to do the walking. So the next one they say preferably you should have experience keeping dogs. Now I'd find it quite hard to believe, or find it very strange, that someone would go into this line of work if you've never owned a dog before, because they're not your average pet. Normally if you have your first dog, normally you would get something a bit small, quite easy, maybe that fits your life a lot better. Now security dogs aren't necessarily going to be ideal for everyone, and it would be strange for me to think that you would go as your first dog being a security dog when you haven't had experience dealing with situations that a normal dog or a pet would give you. They also say you should have a firm attitude. So I think you have to understand that there's a difference between a firm and aggressive attitude. So obviously with this you have to be firm with the dog, so that they know who's boss, but also when you're on site dealing with people who are trespassing, that you have a firm attitude so that they understand that you're in control, and obviously not be a walkover, because certainly with people that are trying to commit crimes and that, they're going to try and not prey on the weak, but if they see a weakness in you, then there's a good chance that they're going to try and take advantage of that. Hello. Come on in. Come on in, find it. Where's that ball? Where's that ball? Hello, matey! Woohoo! Whoa! Good boy. That was good. Well done, mate. So the next one is be determined to succeed. So with this, a lot of it, especially when you're training dogs and that, you need to have a determination to succeed. It's not everything, the same way as when you teach kids stuff, it doesn't happen overnight, so you have to be quite determined in order to succeed and not want to give up when it gets tough. But also obviously with jobs and things like that, it's quite a generic thing when you go for interviews and you say, oh, I'm determined to succeed. But I think more with this is that you need it in order to be able to train dogs and have the drive in order to get up every day and deal with such things. Hello, mate. Oh, what you got? Yes. And the next one is able to show a dog's devotion. So obviously you have your dog. Yep. So you need to be able to show them devotion and let them know that they are loved. Eh? Let them know that they are loved. So obviously, what have I got? Sit, 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 sit. So the dog needs to know it's loved as well. Obviously, dogs work much better and work much better with you when they know they're loved and you show them some devotion. And like any job, being able to adapt and learn. Not every dog is going to be the same, not every site is going to be the same, not every situation is going to be the same. And as you go through this, you'll go through different dogs, you'll go through different sites, you'll go through different situations, and it's being able to adapt and learn to every situation that also you need to have as a handler. So they're the ones that NAS do have in their handler book to say that what they reckon a handler needs to have in this job. So I've been doing this for probably about 3 months now, and I'm just going to name a couple of different things that I would say that you need as well, just through my experience, and probably just something that you need to be aware of. And the first one's flexibility. So you need to be able to be flexible on your working hours, be flexible on your travel and things like that. I haven't had it so much, but there's our handlers out there where they only know on Sunday that they're going to be on a site from Monday to Thursday, and it might not be the normal site they normally go to, and it might be a case of they normally work 12-hour shifts and then all of a sudden the 24-hour shift comes in. So I'm not necessarily saying that happens a lot, but you need to be able to be flexible on the hours that you will be willing to work and where you'll be willing to work. Hey, Coop. Hey, psst. What are you doing? The next one is able to organise your week. Now I've found this has been quite helpful. So if you know, like I do, that you're going to have a block of 3 shifts and they're going to be the same amount, you need to organise your week. So I know that the first day of my week I need to try and sleep for as long as I can, normally till about 2-3 o'clock, in order to be able to get up to be able to do a 15-hour shift. Then when I get back, I need to plan that, okay, so I'm going to sleep for these 5 or 6 hours, and then I need to be up at this time in order to be able to do whatever I need to with the dog, get myself ready and then leave for work. And then the same for the next day. But then also after my 3rd day is that I get back, and although I haven't got work that night, I still get myself up. I maybe only sleep for maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, and then I get up so that I know that I can then spend time with the girlfriend and home life and still be able to go to sleep at say 10, 11 o'clock, ready for my day off the next day. So it's not a case of like when I'm not working I just sleep as much as I can, because obviously you still have home life, but after your last shift that you organise yourself so that you say, right, I'm going to sleep to this time so that I can go to bed tonight, and then the next day when I wake up I can get up normal time, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we can go and have a lovely weekend together. So the next one is able to detach yourself from situations to make clear decisions. So on the site that I'm working at now, there are lots of animals around and things like that, and there are times when I'll just be sitting there eating my wrap and all of a sudden the dog will just go ballistic, and you think to yourself, right, okay, what's happened? Now, has someone come into the site? Has an animal run across? Has he heard something? So you need to be able to detach yourself from what you worry about in order to make a clear decision. So last night I was sitting there having something to eat. All of a sudden he's tethered up outside just where I was. He gets up and he's going absolutely mental. So I just pack my stuff away, or pack my food away quickly, get myself up, and then I slowly just walk outside. I know that no one can get to me without going through the dog, and I just see where he's looking, and what I do there is I just wait a minute and I just listen and just see what's going on. Once I realise that there's nothing going on, get my torch out, I shone over there, and there's this cat that runs around. Now, it would have been quite easy for me to go into a panic, go out straight out with the torch, have a look what's going around and make a rash decision, where knowing my sight I was able to detach myself from the worry of what's going on, just to make a clear decision of, right, what do I want to know first? I want to know where he's looking, I want to know if anything's going on before I show myself to them. Now with the dog, they will obviously know where I am, but before I show myself to them, I want to see what's going on. So it's just being able to detach yourself from something in order to make a clear decision and go through everything the right way before you rush in and make the wrong decision. And the last one is being able to spend long shifts alone with your dog in remote places. Now, a lot of this work that you'll do, you will work as a single dog handler with your dog. I work on a site for 15 and odd hours, literally in the middle of nowhere with just fields around me, and it's dark. There is a road where people can come down, and you need to be able to deal with that, find ways to pass the time. I do it by doing some training. We have some downtime where I'll just watch a bit of YouTube or whatever it is. But you need to be able to deal with them situations where something does happen, and it's up to you to make a decision and act on it accordingly. Now they're what NAS do and some of the things that I've found. So in terms of things like conditions and whether you'll be able to do the job, I think it's a very individual basis, and I think yourself and probably the people around you will tell you if you have what it takes in order to do this stuff. Now I'm not saying that if you don't feel like you can do it, you can sort of come out your shell. I would say that I wasn't the most confrontational person, but what I have sort of learned through this is to take authority and be a bit firmer. I've come out of my shell, I'd say, a little bit more with this, and I feel like even without the dog I could deal with situations a lot better than I probably could before. So have an honest talk with yourself, talk to the people around you, and when you go and start the training, speak to the trainer. If you have a condition that you're worried about, speak to them, see what they say, they'll assess you, and like I say, when it comes to passing people, trainers that have a reputation won't pass you if they don't feel like you're ready for the job itself, because the worst thing that could happen to a trainer is that they pass you and then 2-3 months down the line you make a decision that causes a massive problem, and then NAS do come back to the trainer and say, did you not pick up on this during this time? So like I say, just have an honest think of yourself, and like I say, it's a good job. It can bring you out of your shell, and you can become a better person at dealing with these situations. And I'm not saying that conditions are going to stop you from being able to do it. So my answer to the NASDO question for this video, I asked you where there should be signage for on sites regarding the dog. It should be on all entrances and egresses, or entrances and exits to site. So on every entrance there should be a sign saying dogs patrol this area, beware. You'll see the yellow dog signs, but also thinking about it is that if you work in a site and there's a hole in the fence, that is known as an entrance or egress. If it's a known hole, that is an entrance and an egress. So if you work on a site, always make sure you've got a couple of spare on you. Best thing you can do is have some cable ties on you. If you can repair the hole, then do that. But if you don't, then make sure you've got some spare signs on you, and just stick one of them up. It'll save your back. If someone walks through that and they get attacked by the dog or something happens and they turn around to the police and say there wasn't any signage, then you can get in trouble. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it informative. Like I say, I'm not trying to scare people. I'm just trying to tell you what NAS do say, and probably what I've kind of found. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do this with conditions that you would think they probably couldn't do the job with. So just be honest with yourself, and don't put yourself in any situations that you probably can't cope with. Okay, I hope you like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe down to the channel, and I'll see you next week in the next video. Cheers for watching. See you later.